Base44 builds professional, fully functional web apps from a plain English prompt. In this tutorial, we are generating a live, published app with user logins and a custom database, going from a blank screen to a public URL without writing a single line of code. While I'll be using a fitness tracker as our example today, these steps work for building any tool you can imagine. Throughout this tutorial, we'll see how to navigate the dashboard, write a good prompt, test and customize your app, authenticate users, use your app's dashboard, and publish your app. Let's dive right in. Chapter 1. Onboarding and Dashboard Overview. Clicking the link in the description will take you directly to this page right here. There's a chat box on screen, but to start making your own app, you'll need to create your accounts. Click Start Building in the upper right corner. Base44 sign-up page, where you can create an account using either your Google account or another email. I'll go with my Google account. No matter what you do, follow the on-screen instructions, and just in a few clicks, you'll arrive at the dashboard. The chat box is front and center, and it's also ready to go. But before we start prompting, let's take a quick tour of the interface. Let's start in the upper left, next to the Base44 logo. We won't be covering all of these, but let's get started with apps. This is where you'll be able to browse all the apps you've created. Integrations. Here's where you add third-party integrations to enhance your app's functionality. For example, you can use Stripe to enable payments, Google Calendar to schedule meetings, and far more. App templates. Here's where you can browse over 100 pre-built templates. Many of these are free, but others are purchasable. Skipping over Hire a Partner and Affiliates, we arrive at Docs and Support. This is where you can find official Base44 frequently asked questions, guides, and best practices, as well as open a support ticket, browse the community forum, and join their official Discord. Moving over to the upper right, clicking on My Workspace lets you manage your Base44 subscription and manage your account settings. That's all there is to it. The interface is very simple. Now, let's take a look at the chat box, because this is where the first and most important step of your journey takes place. Instructing the AI what you want. Chapter 2. Writing a good prompt for your app. Prompting AI properly is tough. In general, here are a few tips. Be as specific as possible. Leave as little to chance as you can. You also want to be as clear as possible. Avoid any ambiguity and give precise instructions. So, for this video, I'll be building a fitness planning and tracking app. With that in mind, I could use this simple prompt. Build a workout planning and tracking app. That's technically not wrong, but it also gives the AI a ton of creative freedom. Who knows how your app will ultimately turn out or what it will do. Instead, let's be specific. So here is my prompt. Create a modern, mobile-first fitness tracking application that allows users to log, record, and analyze their daily workouts, while also generating personalized workout plans based on each user's individual goals, experience level, and preferences. Now, this is a good start, but it's just the beginning. So far, we've told the app what we want it to do. Now, we need to tell it how we want it to do it. Now, to be as specific as possible, I recommend using another AI tool like ChatGPT or Gemini and asking it to generate precise, well-structured technical recommendations for your app. That's what I did, and that is what I'll be using. I'll copy and paste it here. Before submitting your prompt, make sure to read over what the AI generated and try to see if these 4 questions are clearly addressed. Who is using your products? Someone wanting to track and/or improve their health. What actions can users take? Track and analyze their daily workouts and generate personalized workout schedules. What data is needed for them to take those actions? Age, weight, height, pre-existing conditions, etc. And what screen, pages, or forms are needed for them to take those actions? Daily logs, health information, workout experience, etc. Once you're ready, go ahead and press the Enter key on your keyboard, and Base44 will start generating your app. If you want, you can follow these step-by-step actions the AI is taking to create your app on the left-hand side of the screen. I will also take this opportunity to show you something important. Go ahead and click the Base44 logo in the upper left corner. You can see the number of monthly credits you have. Each message to the AI costs a single credit. I'm currently on the Pro plan, So I have 250 credits per month. The free plan will limit you to 25 credits a month, which is why it's important to be as precise as possible. You don't have endless revisions. We'll talk more about credits later. Alright, it'll take Base44 a few minutes to build my app, so I'll see you soon. Chapter 3. Understanding and testing the generated app. My app has been created, and all that's left to do is test it. I'll follow the customer onboarding steps by entering my age, height, and weight. Oops, I already see one issue. The app is using the metric system, but since I want this for American consumers, I'll have to use feet, inches, and pounds. Here's what I'll prompt. Revise the existing fitness app so that all measurements, inputs, stored values, calculations, and displays use the US customary system instead of the metric system. I'll hit the Enter key and let the changes take effect before I test the onboarding process. Alright, now let's test it out. I'll enter my age, height, and weight. Now I'll click Continue. Before I move on, I'll switch the view to mobile, since most people will use the app on their phones. I'll click the icon of a computer monitor in the top center, and there we go. Now we'll be able to test mobile functionality. I'll say I'm a beginner because I really want to test out the recommendations feature. As for my primary goal, I'll say it's fat loss and go to the next page. I really like the next page, which asks how many days per week I can train and for how long. I'll set these to 4 and 45 minutes and move on. As for the equipment I have, let's limit it to dumbbells, barbell and plates, and resistance bands, and click Continue. The last one is also really cool, checking for injuries or limitations. I'll skip this step and click Complete Setup. Now, let's take a closer look at the whole app. We've got a simple dashboard here telling us how many workouts we've completed, how many days we've worked out, and the pounds we've presumably lost. It's also telling us that today is a rest day. There's also a spot to view recent activity. Pretty solid. Let's check out the other parts of the app down at the bottom, starting with programs. It looks like this is where the AI can generate a workout plan. Let's see if it works. I'll hit Generate Program. Well, this isn't bad. It created a 4-day fat loss program, and it has me working out Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. That's a good schedule, keeping Wednesday as a rest day and having the weekend as solid. What about training myself? Well, taking a quick look, it's pretty good. There's the name of the exercise, how many sets you're supposed to do, as well as the number of reps per set. I see one glaring issue though. There's no weight suggested, something to fix later. Let's move on. Click the plus icon. Here, users can log their workouts, including how hard they were, and add notes. Progress shows a monthly workout breakdown, and the Profile tab lets them edit their personal information, goals, available equipment, and view their exercise library. Alright, so now that we've got a solid foundation, let's see how to customize it and make it our own. Chapter 4. Editing and customizing your app. There are two ways to edit your app: visual editing and the AI chat box. Since we already saw how to use the chat box in the last chapter, let's start with the visual editor. Below the chat box in the bottom left, click Visual Edit. Now, hovering over different elements on the app highlights them and also displays a small tag. Clicking on an element brings up a toolbar and lets you make changes, with some glaring limitations. For example, I'll click on Hello and press the capital T icon. It doesn't actually let me change dynamically generated text, which is a major headache. It does, however, let me change everything else, including size, alignment, formatting, text, and background color, opacity margins, and more. I will change the size of this text to 2XL. Whenever you make a change with the visual editor, you have to save it. The box appears directly above the chat box in the bottom left. Simply click Save, your app will reload and apply the changes. Making visual edits does not cost you any credits, so I recommend making changes when you can. Still, for more advanced edits or for renaming elements or changing text, you will need to use the chat box. There are two ways you can do this. The first way is to select the element you want to change, like Hello, and click Edit Elements. That will pull up another chat box and will only let you make edits to this element. While this can be helpful in the right circumstances, it'll also drain your credits very quickly. That's why I recommend keeping another document open on a second monitor to take notes on all the small changes you want to make. Then turn those notes into a cohesive prompt you can submit all at once. For example, I want to make changes on the Home tab, so here's what I'll prompt the AI. On the Home tab, keep the dynamic header Good Afternoon, but delete the H1 header where Hello appears. Also increase the size of Good Afternoon. I also want workouts changed to workouts finished, days to time spent, and LBS deleted entirely. For the new workouts finished and time spent elements, improve the logos. Use a clock for time spent and a green check mark for workouts finished. Let's see how it does. I'll hit enter and let it do its magic. I'll be back in a few. There we go. The edits have been made and it looks like everything went seamlessly. Let's test it out to find out. So I'll go ahead and finish the workout that's scheduled for today. I'll click Start Workout and then Add Exercise. Now, this window seems to be very broken. I can't scroll and it's giving me the ability to add workouts I know aren't a part of today's plan. Let's head back to the chat box and make an edit. Here's what I'll prompt. For each log workout, restrict the exercises that can be logged to those according to the user's generated plan. Do not allow them to log unscheduled exercises. And make sure the Log Workout tab is synced with the user's custom program. You know the drill. See you shortly. All right, let's see how it works. I'll click Start Workout again. That didn't seem to fix anything. I'll undo that change by clicking Revert This in the bottom right of the text, right here. I'll click OK to confirm, and the app has been rolled back. Now, obviously, there is more troubleshooting I'd have to do to get everything working properly, but you get the idea. Base44 AI can create pages, connect to user data, update navigation menus, and handle logic. As we've seen, it's far from perfect, but it's still a lot easier than coding yourself, and much cheaper than hiring a developer to build it from scratch. We still have a big problem though. The app is limited to one user, me. To make it available to the public, we need people to be able to make and manage their own accounts. That's what we'll handle in the next chapter. Chapter 5. Adding user authentication. For a complex change like this, we'll turn to the chat box. Here's what I'll prompt. Set up user authentication so anyone can sign up, get personalized fitness programs tailored to meet their needs and goals, and keep their programs separate from others. Send this message and I'll see you when it's complete. Now, my app already has full user authentication set up according to the AI. And I know this because I follow the onboarding steps earlier to sign up. The reason I walked you through this, however, is that there's no guarantee Base44 will do this for you. It's really a roll of the dice, and depending on how the AI interprets your first prompt, you may be stuck setting this up later. If you need help with this step, I'll include a link in the description to a guide that walks you through the process. Now, before I make the app public, let's take a look at the backend. Chapter 6. Navigating your app's dashboard. Throughout this video, we've been using preview mode to view the app in real time. Toggle over to Dashboard to view the core of your app. Here's a quick summary of what the most important tabs here let you do. Users lets you see all your app users, their roles, and email addresses. You can also invite and remove any user from this window. Data. This is where all the information your app collects is stored. For me, this includes each user's email address, age, height, weight, fitness level, and primary goal. There are other data points too, such as the exercise and workout programs tabs. You can also add new information by clicking Add in the upper right corner. For example, I could add box jumps as another potential exercise. Moving down quite a ways, we arrive at integrations. This is where you will set up and manage all the third-party integrations your app needs to work properly. Lastly, there's also code. This is where you can view and, on paid plans, edit all the code Base44 created for your app. Unless you know what you're doing, I do not recommend playing around here. Still, having the code is fantastic. If you ever decide to hire a developer to iron out some bugs or add advanced features, they'll be able to work within the existing framework. Now, let's click back to Dashboard and take the final step, publishing your app. Chapter 7. Going live. Once you thoroughly tested your app and are confident that it works as intended, you'll need to publish it. Before you do that, though, make sure to check the Dashboard's Overview tab. Under App Visibility, make sure it's set to Public and Require Login to Access. Now, click Publish in the upper right corner, and after copying the link to your clipboard, select Publish App. Now, the app is online. Let's pull it up by copying and pasting the URL into a new tab. That will take us immediately to the login page, which is exactly what we want. At this stage, I recommend signing up for an account using a different email address and completing the onboarding process as a new user. Make sure everything seems to be running smoothly, there are no unexpected glitches, and if everything goes according to plan, you'll have a brand new app ready to share with the world. Remember to click the link in the description to try Base44 for free, and if you upgrade to an annual plan within the first 48 hours of creating your accounts, you're gonna get 30% off the annual plan. Let me know what kind of app you decided to build down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.